There comes a time when all life on earth is in danger. At that time, great powers have arisen, barbarian powers. And although they waste their wealth in preparations to annihilate each other, they have much in common. And among the things these powers, these barbarian powers, have in common are weapons of unfathomable devastation and death, and technologies that lay waste the world. And it is just at this point in our history when the future of all beings seems to hang by the frailest of threads that the kingdom of Shambala emerges. Now you can't go there because it is not a place. It exists in the hearts and minds of the Shambala Warriors. And actually, you can't tell a Shambala warrior by looking at her or him, because they wear no uniforms, no insignia, they wield no banners, they have no barricades upon which to climb to threaten the enemy or behind which they can rest and regroup. They don't even have any home turf. The Shambala Warriors have only the terrain of the barbarian powers to move across, to act upon. Now the time is coming, Dugutra Gyal Rinpoche said to me, when great courage is required of the Shambala Warriors. Moral courage and physical courage. And that's because they are going to go right into the heart of the barbarian powers to dismantle their weapons. They're going to go into the pits and citadels where the weapons are made and deployed. They're going to go into the corridors of power where the decisions are made to dismantle the weapons in every sense of the word. The Shambala Warriors know that these weapons can be dismantled because they are Manomaya. That means mind-made. Made by the human mind, they can be unmade by the human mind. Because the dangers that face us are not brought upon us by some satanic deity or some evil extraterrestrial force or some unchangeable preordained fate. They arise out of our relationships and habits, out of our priorities. They are made by the human mind. They can be unmade by the human mind. So, he said, now is the time the Shambala Warriors go into training. How do they train? I asked. They train in the use of two implements, he said. Actually used the word weapons. What are they? I asked. And he said, one is compassion, and the other is insight into the radical interdependence of all phenomena. And you need both, he said. You need the compassion because that provides the fuel to move you out where you need to be, to do what you need to do. And it means not being afraid of the suffering of your world. And when you're not afraid to be with that pain, then nothing can stop you. You can be and do what you're meant to. But by itself, he said, that implement is very hot. It can burn you out. So you need the other. That other tool, the insight into the radical interconnectivity at the heart of existence, the web of life, our deep ecology. When you have that, you know, he said, when you understand that, then you know that this is not a battle between good guys and bad guys. You know that the line between good and evil runs through the landscape of every human heart. And you know that we are so interwoven in the web of life that even the smallest act with clear intention has repercussions through the whole web beyond your capacity to see. But that's kind of cool, he said. It's maybe even a little abstract, so you need the heat of the compassion. That's the prophecy.
This passage from Joanna Macy reflects a profound and timeless message that resonates across spiritual traditions, philosophies, and even modern social movements. The Shambala Warriors described here embody the balance of compassion and insight, drawing upon inner strength and wisdom to challenge the world's destructive forces. They do so not through physical might, but through the moral courage to dismantle systems of harm and violence that are ultimately mind-made. The heart of the Shambala Warriors' mission, to heal a world on the brink of devastation, holds parallels to the teachings found in many world religions and spiritual practices. Let's explore how this wisdom from diverse traditions can inspire and invite others to join a path of compassion and insight, fostering global transformation. In Buddhism, the concept of dependent co-arising highlights the interconnection of all things, just as the Shambala Warriors are guided by the realization that every action affects the entire web of existence. Compassion, or karuna, and insight, or prajna, are core tenets of Buddhist practice, where practitioners strive to alleviate suffering while understanding the impermanent and interdependent nature of the world. Christianity, the teachings of Christ, emphasize love and compassion for one's neighbor, extending even to one's enemies. In the Gospels, Jesus repeatedly calls for acts of service, love, and kindness, even in the face of persecution. The Shambala Warriors' mission echoes the Christian call to confront systems of violence and oppression through non-violent means with a heart fueled by love. The Christian concept of turning the other cheek can be seen as a powerful example of meeting aggression with the force of compassion and wisdom, refusing to perpetuate cycles of harm. Islam. In Islam, the concept of jihad is often misunderstood but holds deep meaning related to inner and outer struggles for justice and truth. The greater jihad refers to the personal, internal battle to live in accordance with divine will, while the lesser jihad encompasses the external effort to combat injustice and oppression. The Shambala Warriors' struggle to dismantle mind-made weapons is an example of this principle, waging a spiritual struggle against the forces of destruction while being guided by compassion, or rahmah, and wisdom, or hikmah. Hinduism. The Bhagavad Gita, a sacred Hindu text, depicts the spiritual warrior Arjuna, who faces a moral dilemma about going to battle. Lord Krishna teaches Arjuna the importance of dharma, or duty, and karma yoga, which is selfless action. Like the Shambhala Warriors, Arjuna is called to act with wisdom and detachment, knowing that the battle is not between good and evil individuals, but rather a cosmic struggle. Similarly, the Shambhala Warriors must act not with hatred, but with a sense of interconnected duty and universal love. Judaism, Jewish teachings emphasize tikkun olam, the concept of repairing the world. This idea encourages every individual to take responsibility for making the world a better place. The Shambala Warriors' journey to heal the world's suffering through compassion and insight aligns with this mission. In Judaism, acts of kindness, justice, and the pursuit of peace are central to fulfilling one's purpose in life, mirroring the Shambhala path. Indigenous spiritualities. Many indigenous spiritual traditions teach deep respect for the interconnectedness of all life, recognizing the earth as a living being and humanity as part of a sacred web. The insight into dependent co-arising in the Shambhala tradition resonates with indigenous worldviews that emphasize balance, harmony, and collective responsibility. Shambhala warriors, like many indigenous wisdom keepers, act from a place of reverence for life and a commitment to future generations. Encouraging people to embrace this Shambhala philosophy means helping them see the power of integrating wisdom and compassion found in nearly every religious and spiritual tradition as tools for real-world change. This message appeals to the deepest values of faith and ethics, reminding us that true power lies not in force, but in the ability to transform hearts, minds, and systems from within. To join this path of the Shambhala warrior is to embrace the role of a healer, a peacekeeper, and a guardian of the earth. As we face modern-day challenges, whether ecological, social, or political, the timeless teachings of compassion and insight call on each of us to step forward with moral courage, to train our minds and hearts, and to engage in the profound work of healing our world.